that we have not finalized our roster yet. Obviously, we have till Thursday morning, but with Dylan Carlson's injury yesterday, something has to happen, and so we will likely add Victor Scott the second. And it's obviously unfortunate for DC. He had a really good camp, was swinging the bat well, and yesterday with that collision, he ended up spraining his AC joint on his left shoulder, and that's going to obviously take some time before he can get himself back. So just have to be patient. You think about sort of the stress of our outfield that's been under, not having Tommy Edman, not having Nude Barr, and now losing DC. It's going to be challenged, but the one thing we know about Victor Scott is he's a talented defender, and certainly will help our outfield in that regard.
John, how much do you hate this for how well Dylan has played, worked all off-season to get back to this point? How much do you hate it for him?
Yeah, I just imagine it's uber frustrating for him and really the club. But you think about the off-season he had, what he was tasked to do, and he showed up in camp and had really righted his ship and had positioned himself well for this upcoming season. So this is certainly disappointing, but you have to remind yourself it's a long season, 162 games, and at some point he will be back contributing to us.
Victor's joining the team. Usually you say that he's here to play with a young player like that. Is that how you see this? That
I
be your center
do.
fielder?
Yeah, I do. You obviously don't want to bring somebody up, have to add someone to the roster spot, especially when you're not even in the protection year. So given that we're fast forwarding this, then he'll get a lot of opportunities to be playing in the beginning part of this season.
John, are they telling you with an AC joint sprain, is that a matter of weeks or is that a matter of months?
I think it really will depend on how he feels over the next few days. For anybody that's ever experienced the AC joint, it can be very uncomfortable. So it's not uncommon to then have that joint injected and to try to calm it down. So we'll just see what happens over the next 48 to 72 hours. But he will return back to St. Louis and be reevaluated by Dr. Paletta.
So is Tommy's injury long-term enough at this point that that's the roster move?
I don't think so. I've gotten encouraging news on him of late, so I do not think putting him on the 60 would make sense.
Ollie said that Lars swung the bat yesterday and the day after, soft tossed. What are you hearing about his progress?
Hearing a lot of good news there too. So yesterday was a really encouraging day for Lars, and hopefully that continues and he can progress himself back into maybe being on a rehab when Memphis opens, not this weekend, but maybe some point next week.
You were on TV during the breakout game, and you said when you saw Victor early last season, he was just kind of a slap hitter. How impressed are you with the progress he's made at the plate as far as his hitting abilities?
Yeah, his evolution has been impressive. I think he's a lot stronger than people give him credit for. I think his approach at the plate has changed, and it's been exciting to watch. But I also think he has a really good eye and a good understanding of the strike zone, which is one thing that always makes you a little nervous when you bring someone up here, because it's a different league, right? I mean, it's a reason why they call it the big league. So, watching him and how he adjusts will be critical. But hopefully we can put him in a spot where we're not putting too much pressure on him, and from a defensive standpoint, he can fill that hole that we desperately need.
Well, can you put maybe in general terms, you think about the schedule that you guys start with, and you're behind with injuries, just what that.
How much do you hate this for DC after how well he's played this spring?
Yeah, I was able to connect with DC this morning, and it's unfortunate. I mean, he did his part. It was coming along really well. All the work that he put on this offseason, we were starting to see it, and we're seeing it consistently. So it's unfortunate that he's going to start the year on the IL. He had a really good spring, man. I was proud of the work that he'd put up to this point, so super unfortunate.
Do you know how long he's going to be down yet?
Not yet, no. The next 2 to 3 days, we'll see how he's responding to everything, and we'll have a better timeline, but we're talking weeks, not months. Yeah.
How impressed were you that Victor is a guy who doesn't scare? I mean, he's never been at big league camp before and played the way he did.
No, he has a quiet confidence to him. He goes about it really well. Was able to speak with him when he got here, and this is a guy that just put his head down and just got to work. Went about it like a pro, and now he's got a shot, which is awesome.
You mentioned the notebook that Victor carried around with him. What was he logging in there? And how impressive was that to show you how serious he was about his craft?
Yeah, he's a baseball player, and he's hungry for information. He's hungry to understand what's next and what's possible for him. And you match that with the skill set, and you have a really good player. So he'd sit down with the veterans, ask them questions, ask them kind of how to go about certain situations, some things with preparation, some in-game decision type stuff, and he'd write it down, and he's eager to apply it to his game, and that's going to expedite just his overall development when you take that type of approach. So super impressed with him. Yes, he's fast, he's exciting, but he's a ball player, and he's hungry for more. So we have a really good player on our hands. Yeah.